Fuji is getting out of the business connected with film photography. I know I'm repeating myself, but well, I've missed so many film discontinuations like Superior 800, Superior 1600 or Instant FP100C, so this time I was one step ahead. Or actually half step, because I was late to buy 400H in 35mm format, but I got a pack of 120. So do I have a whole pack of this stack? Well, maybe, but calling this episode the last one adds more drama and more views, I hope. So Fuji Color Pro 400H is some kind of Fuji's version of Portra, announced in 2004, dedicated for weddings and commercial shooting, but well, a year later Canon released 5D, which seized the entire wedding market, so the end had to come. Rumor has it that Fuji sacrificed all the machines, sprinkled with virgin's blood to the devil, so there is no chance of the 400H being produced again. So I took my Pentacon 6, I texted Claudia, who decided to join me, and we met in this beautiful scenery to shoot the last roll of Fuji Color Pro 400H, the last one, at least for now. Pentacon 6 is not a special camera that I chose for this, let's say, special occasion. Actually, it's the only medium format camera I have. If you are wondering what is this piece of crap, it was made by Praktica, and Praktica is Eastern German equivalent of Soviet Zenit or Kiev, but with a quite good size lens. So bang, the first shot. And it turned out that I didn't advance the film properly, at least I thought so, that I took only 2, not 3 blank shots. But the problem probably was with the camera mechanism itself, because the thing is that Pentacon 6 is one big problem. This infernal machine should be rather called Pentacon 666. We moved to the pier for the second shot, but well, the weather was so unpredictable as the camera. I measured exposure and seconds later the sky was clouding over or the other way around, so after a few attempts we finally made it. So the good thing about the second shot is the fact that there is the second shot. The frames are not overlapping, so it's already a big success while using Pentacon. But in all the chaos I didn't notice the lantern growing out of Claudia's head. And also the focus is somewhere, but not on a face. Well, Pentacon screen doesn't have a split image spot but a micro prism, and my sight is not much better than Stevie Wonder's. As they say, first time lucky, and this one is not bad actually. In the meantime, the sky cleared up for good and I wanted to open the aperture a little bit, so we changed location, and that's how we found ourselves in an abandoned greenhouse, which is so abandoned that it's even marked on Google Maps and you have to wait in line to enter. Well, this one is good. This glow added some softness to this shot. The shades are brown and warm, skin tones are great. I think that 400H is a little bit less contrasting than Portra. Of course it depends on scanner settings and everything. Maybe the sun going through the lens slightly faded this photo. It's not like a big difference, but anyway, we will talk about it later. So back in the days Pentacon was called Portrait King, but it was rather the only king the world behind the Iron Curtain deserved. Step up from Zenith and probably step behind Kiev 88, which was nothing but the fake Hasselblad. Or a Hasselblad replica, to put it nicely. But what I'm driving at is that a waist level viewfinder is not exactly the best choice for portraits. There was an optional standard viewfinder with TTL metering, but it was heavy, big and unhandy. Just for the record, I love this perspective, this lower point of view which creates a little bit different look without getting on your knees, but still its royal attributes are the film format and the lens, which combined together give this smooth and nice bokeh. If you are not Shaquille O'Neal photographing Kylie Minogue, close-up portraits ain't gonna work with this type of camera. And I know, it worked for Vivian Maier, but I think you get the point. This one is my favorite. Again, this cool glow, those perfect Fuji greens, fine grain, but it's not a surprise for a professional 120 film. Also this angle when I move just slightly away from Claudia seemed to be perfect for Pentacon. So maybe that's a good time to compare it with Portra 400. So the scans I got from the lab are not even close. Actually, those are not good scans at all. But if we warm up this shot a little bit, put the tint into green, take off some contrast and match the exposure, we can get pretty close. To be honest, that's exactly what I expected. This film was made to be, let's say, neutral. Maybe 400H has more brown tones while Portra is more pinkish. You may say that this test is not very precise, but I can get this Portra Lab scan look in the same 3 steps. And exactly the same correction can be put on a professional scanner. So there is this brown and pink thing visible on the dress, various leaves colors, slightly different shades, but Portra can fill this gap after 400H, and it's not like saying that Lomo Purple replaces Aerochrome. It shouldn't even be said out loud, I suppose. So we left the greenhouse to take some shots in quite different scenery. Why are the road signs in the park? It's a good question actually, but they ruin this shot for sure. I asked Claudia to stand in the shade just to finally use the 2.8 aperture. She could also lean on this tree so her head was on the same level as the camera right in the front of the glass. So the king rose to the occasion. Of course, it's just an ordinary portrait, but I like how this lens performs wide open. And the setup costs only like $300. What can we learn from this? The Portrait King is not about the camera, but about who presses the shutter. However, it turned out that the king was naked, and right now I'm in the Pentacon, because there is no 12 frame, although it should be. It's kinda a big deal. It's safe to say that almost 10% of the shots are missing. Counting the first one, it's like 20. But well, that's water over the dam, so let's see what we've got. There are 3 quite nice shots, 2, maybe 3 not spectacular but still not bad. 1 missing frame, 1 broken frame and some filler. All in all, I'm fairly satisfied with the results. And Fuji 400H? It is a good stack, or maybe I should say it was, but if somehow Fuji will bring this film back to life, I probably won't pop champagne on this occasion. I mean, in 2023 it's not what we are waiting for. It's not like, I don't know, Konica SRG 3200 or any 1600 ISO color film. It was nice to have a choice back in the days, but it's not like a big deal right now. I would rather be happy with the return of Superia Extra 400. Anyway, if you can still get the stock at reasonable price, it's probably not a bad idea to try it out or just freeze it. or freeze it and sell it in a few years, or just buy a Portra and have fun while shooting film.